In this video, we're going to be looking at how to solve equations. Now, the basic idea in solving equations is to basically keep rearranging the equation until you end up with x equals a number. Okay? Now, for this particular video, we're going to be using a technique called same to both sides. Now, in this technique is when whatever you do on one side of the equation, you need to do the same to the other side as well. Okay? So the first step in solving equations using this technique is first you need to rearrange the equation so that all the x's are on one side and the numbers on the other side. And then you need to combine terms when possible. And the second step is to divide both sides by the number multiplying x to find the value of x. Okay? So let's look at this example to make things clear. This equation reads 2x plus 5 is equal to 23 minus 4x. Okay, so as you can see in this case, first, we have two types of terms. We have the x terms, which are 2x and minus 4x, and we have the number terms, which is plus 5 and 23. Okay, so first we need to decide on which side to have which type of term. Okay, so generally we prefer having positive terms on each side. Okay, so what this means is that we want to move each type of term on the side where we think it'll end up being positive. But for now, just trust me on this one. Okay, we're going to move the number terms to the right side and the x terms on the left side. Okay, so how do we get rid of the plus 5 on the left side? Now, in order to get rid of plus 5 and get 0, what we need to do is to have a minus 5. Okay? So what we do is we do minus 5 on each side. So minus 5 plus 2x plus 5 and 23 minus 4x minus 5. Okay. And then we solve. So we get minus 5 plus 5. So this cancels out, right? It's equal to 0. So we're left with 2x on the left hand side. And then we have 23 minus 5. We can solve that. Gives us 18. And then we're left with minus 4x. Okay, so now we're one step closer to solving this equation. Now, another problem we have here is that we have x's on both sides. So like I said at the beginning, we need to get the x terms on the left hand side. So in order to get this minus 4x on the other side, what we need to do is to get rid of it on this right hand side. Now in order to get rid of minus 4x, what would you do? What would you add or subtract? Now in this case, we're indeed going to be adding, because this is a negative number, we're going to be adding plus 4x. Okay? On both sides, remember. On both sides. Okay. Now this way, minus 4x plus 4x cancels out, right? It's equal to 0. So we can get rid of this. And we're left with 18. On the other hand, on the other side, we have 4x plus 2x. We can solve that. This gives us 6x is equal to 18. Okay? So that's the first step done. And then the second step is to divide both sides by the number multiplying x to find the value of x. So we need to divide both sides by the number multiplying x. The number multiplying x in this case is 6. So then we need to divide both sides by this number. So we divide both sides by the 6. And then we solve. 6 divided by 6 is just 1. So we have 1x. 1 doesn't really affect x, so we can just write x is equal to 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So x is equal to 3. And as you can see, we've just solved this equation. We got x is equal to a number. In this case, x is equal to 3. Excellent. Let's look at another example. In this case, things are getting a bit tougher. The equation reads 2, open brackets, so 2 times open brackets, 3x minus 3, close brackets, is equal to 5x plus 13. When you come across with an equation that has brackets, always multiply them out before rearranging. Okay, so first multiply out the brackets before rearranging. So I've already done a video on this, on how to expand brackets. Make sure to go check it out if you're not sure how to do this. Otherwise, you're going to find this a little bit hard. So in order to expand this brackets, we need to multiply this 2 by each term inside the brackets. So then 2 times 3x is equal to 6x, and 2 times minus 3 is equal to minus 6. Okay? Very good. Right. And then again, we need to put the x terms on one side and the number terms on the other side. Okay. So let's start with the number terms. Again, we want to end up with positive numbers. So in this case, we're going to put the number terms on the right hand side and the x terms on the left hand side. So first we want to get rid of this minus 6. Okay. And put it on the other side. So what we need to do is, in order to cancel out this minus 6, we need to add 6. So we need to add plus 6 to this side. And therefore, we also add plus 6 on the other side. And then we solve. Plus 6 minus 6 is equal to 0, so this cancels out. We're left with 6x is equal to 5x, and then plus 13 plus 18, plus 13 plus 6 is equal to plus 19. Very good. And then we need to put this 5x on the other side. Now in order to get rid of 5x on this right hand side, because it's a positive 5x, we need negative 5x. And whatever we do on one side, we need to do to the other side. So we need to also put minus 5x on this side. And then we solve. On the right hand side, positive 5x minus 5x cancels out, it's equal to 0. And then minus 5x plus 6x is simply x. So we get x is equal to 19. Excellent. And then what about this one? We have a fraction in this case. This equation reads x plus 2 divided by 8 is equal to 4x minus 7. Okay. So again, when we have a fraction, we always first need to get rid of the fraction. Okay? In order to get rid of fractions, we need to multiply every term of the equation by whatever's on the bottom of the fraction. So in this case, what we have on the bottom of the fraction is 8. Therefore, we need to multiply every term in this equation by 8. So, we have 8 times x plus 2, right? Divided by 8 equals to 8 times 4x minus 7. Okay. Now, on the left hand side, before we expand 8 times x plus 2, we can see that it's also divided by 8. And if we do 8 divided by 8, this is simply equal to 1. Okay? So we can essentially get rid of this. And we're left with x plus 2. However, on the right hand side, we do need to expand. So we do 8 times the 4x, and then 8 times minus 7. So 8 times 4 is 32x. And 8 times minus 7, this is equal to minus 56. if I did that correctly. Okay, so now we have x plus 2 is equal to 32x minus 56. So again, now we have x terms and we have number terms. So again, we need to get the x terms on one side and the number terms on the other side. Remember, we want positive terms. We prefer positive terms on each side. So in this case, because we have a minus 56 here, we're going to want to put this minus 56 on the other side, right? Because we know it changes sign as well. So In order to get rid of this minus 56 on this side, we need to add 56, right? So we need to do plus 56. And whatever we do on one side, we do on the other side as well. So we have plus 56. Okay. Minus 56 plus 56 cancels out. And then 56 plus 2 is 58. And the x, so we have x plus 58 is equal to 32x. Okay. And we're still not done. Apologies for the coughing. So we have x plus 58 is equal to 32x. Now in order to get this x on the other side, we're going to have to do minus x. Okay, so we have minus x plus x, and we know this cancels out. And whatever we do on one side, we need to do to the other side as well. So we have 32x minus x on this side as well. So minus x plus x cancels out, and we're left with 58, and then is equal to 32x minus x. This is equal to 31x. Okay. And then in order to find x equals a number, we need to divide, remember, we need to divide both sides by the number multiplying x. In this case, 31. So we need to divide both sides by 31. Okay. So 31 divided by 31 is 1. It simply cancels out. And then 58 divided by 31, we'll leave it as that. Okay. So we can rewrite this as x is equal to 58 over 31. Excellent. So that'll be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. And I hope this was a good introduction to how to solve equations.